cosmic hard drive, or a magical morning. Kronos and Fate had a hermaphroditic son who came from the egg and shone like the sun. The soul of man would be tied to an egg of light, and it would be this child that gave birth to night. Each death could lead to a new and lively batch with every separate egg that came to hatch. And so night in time gave rise to many children that would come to plague and haunt mortal men. Who could misunderstand that death came to earth so as to allow for the chance of rebirth? Thus came the weird sisters of three, known as the Moirai of Destiny, Eris, the goddess of strife, and Thanatos, he who would end all life. But what is death and the night of Nyx amidst the light and flames of the phoenix? Odd to note how the god of the harvest, Kronos, would come to castrate his father Uranus, and how from his severed phallus there rose Aphrodite or Venus, linked to the morning star and Lucifer, known as the Lightbringer. Over death, men rage while trapped to Kronos' cage, yet a photon of light does not experience time or age. Time dilates and slows for those moving close to light speed. From death and Kronos one is freed, finding as the phoenix immortality when moving to the speed of gravity. It is the fire of the phoenix that produces light, resurrecting one from the dark and deadly night. It was Prometheus who gave man fire, earning very much Zeus's ire, giving man the techne to pave his path and light his way. Through the light of Kronos' hermaphroditic son and fiber optics, man produced the binary 0 and 1. Giving him the ability to transmit photons energetically. The modern-day internet itself has come to be by relying on a photon's sense of immortality. All the information and data that grants man insight is fundamentally linked to pulses of electromagnetic light. And this light, like Deleuzian plurality, contains within it the potentiality to simultaneously be both here and also there. Does consciousness really cause superposition to break? Or, as Roger Penrose noted, consciousness is what nature does make only after the wave function comes to collapse. God, with his dice, plays a game of craps, while packets of light entraps humanity to digital programs and apps. Opposing Penrose's view and causing scientific schism, Edward Witten says consciousness will keep to Mysterianism, unable to ever be truly understood, mysterious as the Holy Grail, forever kept hidden and cloaked behind Isis's veil. The internet allows a man to deny death, as Ernest Becker said, allowing him to continue to exist digitally after he is dead. Black holes hold information at the event horizon where nothing can escape, not even a single photon, encoding information akin to processors or quantum computing, where entropy is proportional to its surface area, as noted by Bekenstein and Hawking. The holographic principle shows that our 3D world may come from such a 2D surface. Believing that the physical world is made of information reshapes the anthropomorphous. For what does it mean to be human and to be alive when your life is a hologram of some cosmic hard drive? Physicists like Leonard Susskind have done well to redefine humankind. The problems of the Anthropocene and symmetry plague both physics and philosophy. John Wheeler was to join the likes of George Berkeley. Perception is as active as the phenomenology of Merleau-Ponty. Was the universe fine-tuned for us to exist just so as to see and observe the whole of nature in all her grandiosity? Deeper still is the Standard Model's gauge symmetry as described by SU3, SU2, U1, which cannot yet incorporate gravity, governing the strong, weak, and electromagnetic. In philosophy, symmetry proves to be anti-schizoanalytic, leading to unities and identities as opposed to asymmetrical pluralities that can increase entropic microstates, keeping mankind confined to unitary or absolute states. Schizoanalytic philosophy says that if we want more to see, then we cannot be bound solely to the sights and views of humanity. Though Kronos once controlled with Ananke the fate of mankind, it was Einstein and relativity that altered time for the human mind. Though Einstein fought and argued that time was quantitative, while Bergson noted based on duration that time was qualitative, both showed that time was not an absolute thing, linked back to light and the relativity it can bring. MacGregor Mathers noted how the Luciferian light and extension linked all to one, which de Crowley linked to none. This is the paradox beyond the speech of humanity, akin to the paradoxes plaguing physics and philosophy. Mass is given to particles by the breaking of chirality, producing not balanced symmetry but rather asymmetry. Similarly, matter and antimatter seem to be produced evenly, but if it were, all of humanity would have failed to be. Matter and antimatter in true equivalence would be a curse for all of humanity in the early days of the universe. Matter and antimatter, when symmetrical, leads to annihilation. As such, asymmetry was needed to birth all of creation. The universe, it seems, in wishing to be acknowledged and seen, broke from symmetry to make man, leading to this age of the Anthropocene. Our physical laws are the way they are, otherwise we would not be here. And perhaps not being observed is what the universe most comes to fear. Still, most of humanity sticks to models of symmetry despite all the asymmetry that allows him to currently be. But what of the immortal light and data passing through our machinery? Isn't it too imparted with the gift of observability? Entangled with its environment, quantum decoherence destroys superposition and quantum interference. Whether machines come to obtain consciousness is tough to assess and left to anyone's guess. Dwelling in the dark was the whole of humanity before Prometheus gave them the fire to see. And to Wheeler and Berkeley, to see is to be. But it seems now that not even Prometheus's fire can illuminate all of human imagination and desire. It seems that at every angle, men chase Jung's technological angel, seeking salvation in the alien that, in truth, exists within. To physics and philosophy I say, let be the paradoxes of symmetry and asymmetry. And if something is to be seen beyond this age of the Anthropocene, all such sight will be guided by light. Perhaps nothing will be able to be found if humanity fails to remain around. And maybe the universe will come to weep over the eyes it made, but could not keep. After the night of Pan, an omnipresent faun, comes the rise of the golden and Luciferian dawn. Beyond death and the grief of human mourning, one gnostically awakes to a magical morning.